Hello everyone, this is Dr. Zhou Jingyi. Today, we are discussing a topic that touches millions of families worldwide. Treatment for Alzheimer's disease is currently at a major turning point. For decades, the focus of medical research has been limited. We have primarily been looking for ways to remove debris like amyloid beta from the brain's pathways. While this was a necessary step, the latest breakthrough research has ushered in a dreamlike phase that goes far beyond simple cleaning. We are now talking about repairing the brain from the inside out. The drug AC001 is currently a hot topic in US Science magazine and across the latest medical news. It is being hailed as the third generation of therapeutics. This discovery is taking the world by surprise because of its regenerative potential. Over the next 10 minutes, I will provide a thorough explanation of why this matters for the future of healthcare. We will dive deep into the mechanism of action, the clinical data, and what this means for patients and their loved ones. Let's begin our deep dive into the light of hope. I've spent years following these developments, and I can tell you that this is one of the most exciting periods in neurology. I want to ensure you understand every detail of this transition. Stay with me as we explore the deep relationship between the brain's immune system and its energy production. To understand AC001, we must first look at microglia. These are specialized cells responsible for the brain's immunity, acting as its primary defense and cleaning crew. Of particular interest in this study is the movement and behavioral shift of these microglia. Normally, they keep the brain healthy by removing cellular waste and protecting against threats. However, in an Alzheimer's-affected brain, amyloid beta accumulates into plaques. Previous studies have shown that this buildup causes microglia to lose their way. When microglia go out of control, they enter a hyper-inflammatory state. In this attack mode, they unfortunately begin to damage even the normal, healthy nerves they were meant to protect. This is where AC001 changes the game. It works by targeting a specific molecular switch called PPAR delta. Activating this switch is the key to rebalancing the brain's environment. AC001 effectively switches microglia from attack mode back into repair and protection mode. This transformation is fundamental to halting the self-destructive cycle in the brain. Furthermore, AC001 addresses the energy crisis in the brain. It normalizes the metabolism of the cell's power plant, the mitochondria. This is crucial for overall neuronal health. By boosting mitochondrial efficiency, the drug eliminates the energy deficit throughout the brain. This provides the necessary fuel for cells to maintain their structure and function. This dual action, calming the immune system while powering up the cells, creates a stable environment for the next phase of treatment, actual regeneration. We are seeing a move away from just clearing waste toward a holistic restoration of the brain's internal health. This is why the medical community is so optimistic. Understanding this relationship between the cleaning crew and the energy plants is essential to appreciating the true potential of the third generation of Alzheimer's drugs. Now we reach the most surprising discovery of all. Data recently published in Science magazine suggests that AC001 may actually be capable of regeneration. This isn't just about preventing more damage. The data suggests AC001 may reactivate and even increase synapses, the vital connections between nerve cells. In many cases of cognitive decline, these connections are nearly lost. Reactivating them is like repairing a broken communication network within the brain. Normally, once nerve cells die, they do not grow back. This has been the central challenge of neurology for decades. But AC001 offers a different strategy. By strengthening the connections between surviving cells, we can evoke lost memories and restore cognitive functions. The brain learns to work with what it has, but more effectively. This ability to relink the mind is why this drug is being described as regenerative. It's about restoring the architecture of thought and memory. The mechanism involves the same PPAR delta pathway we discussed. By providing the right signals and energy, the brain is encouraged to rebuild its own bridges. This is a fundamental shift from previous defense-only strategies. We are now playing offense, helping the brain reclaim lost territory from the disease. Researchers are closely monitoring how these structural changes translate to daily life improvements for patients. The initial reports are incredibly promising. If we can prove that these synaptic increases lead to sustained memory recovery, it will completely rewrite our treatment protocols for Alzheimer's patients. To understand the impact, let's compare AC001 with current second-generation treatments. Current drugs primarily target the removal of amyloid beta plaques. While those drugs focus on the debris, AC001 targets the root of cellular health, the mitochondria and the protective microglia. This is a shift in fundamental philosophy. Conventional antibody drugs usually require frequent infusions at a hospital, sometimes every 2 weeks or once a month. AC001 is designed as a daily oral medication. This means patients can manage their treatment at home, which is a massive leap forward in patient convenience and autonomy. The expected effects also differ. Current treatments aim to slow the progression. AC001 offers the potential to not only slow it, but possibly restore lost cognitive function. Safety is another major factor. Some current drugs carry risks like cerebral edema, known as ARIA. AC001 is currently considered to have a much lower risk profile. By moving away from hospital-based IVs, we can eliminate disparities in healthcare, ensuring patients everywhere can get help. When treatment is accessible at home, it reduces the burden on both the patient and their caregivers. This is a vital component of the third-generation approach. In summary, we are moving from hospital-dependent deceleration to home-based restoration. This change could redefine the daily lives of millions. The ease of use and the broader safety profile make this a candidate for widespread adoption once it completes the necessary clinical hurdles. A common question people ask is, can you really reach your brain with a drink? It's a valid concern, given how well protected our brains are. The brain is guarded by the blood-brain barrier, or BBB. This is an ironclad defense system that prevents most substances from entering the brain from the bloodstream. AC001 is a very small molecule by design. This allows it to efficiently break through the BBB, reaching the target cells that need it most. Its molecular structure has been optimized for this specific task. Scientists have spent years ensuring it can navigate the body's defenses to find its way to the microglia. Regarding safety, we aren't starting from scratch. Development of drugs targeting PPAR delta has a long history. It has been studied for other diseases in the past. This prior research provides a strong safety basis. We already have a good understanding of how the body interacts with these types of pathways. The medical papers emphasize that the targeted nature of AC001 helps minimize off-target effects. This is key to its perceived safety profile compared to broader antibody treatments. Every aspect of its interaction with human physiology is being meticulously documented. Safety remains the top priority throughout the development cycle. In short, the science of how AC001 reaches and interacts with the brain is both elegant and well-grounded in existing medical knowledge. The ability to cross the blood-brain barrier so effectively while maintaining a low side effect profile is what makes AC001 such a standout candidate. As medical practitioners, our hope is that the quality of early detection and early treatment will fundamentally change with drugs like this. Until now, finding Alzheimer's early was often a heavy burden. We could find it, but we could only offer limited options to slow down the inevitable. But imagine a future where early detection leads to immediate, active restoration. This changes the conversation from one of fear to one of management. If a patient can start a drug like ACE-AUTO1 as soon as cognitive decline is detected, we can potentially prevent the disease from ever reaching a severe stage. We can transform Alzheimer's from a horrific, incurable disease into a controllable chronic condition, similar to how we manage high blood pressure today. In a chronic disease model, the focus is on maintaining quality of life for the long term. This is a much more hopeful outlook for patients and families alike. It means more years of meaningful connection, more shared memories, and a significant reduction in the caregiving burden that Alzheimer's currently creates. This is the dream of modern geriatric medicine. We want to ensure that getting older doesn't have to mean losing oneself. ACE-AUTO1 is a huge step toward that. The transition from passive observation to active intervention is the key. We are empowering both doctors and patients with better tools for the fight. We are on the verge of a new era where Alzheimer's no longer has to be a life-ending diagnosis, but rather a condition we live with and manage effectively. Every time I read the latest medical paper, I am moved by the wisdom of humanity. Our collective effort to solve these complex problems is truly inspiring. We are standing on the shoulders of giants, using decades of research to finally find a way to repair what was once thought irreparable. Of course, there are still critical steps to be taken. Clinical trials must be completed, and regulatory approvals are necessary before this becomes widely available. We must follow the data and ensure that safety and efficacy are proven beyond a doubt. Science takes time, but the path forward is clearer than ever. But the hope is definitely there. For the first time in a long time, we have a clear vision of how we might actually regenerate the connections of the human mind. This is the light of hope we've been waiting for. I want to thank you for taking the time to learn about these exciting developments with me today. Please stay informed and keep supporting medical research. Together, we can look forward to a world where Alzheimer's is no longer a shadow over our lives. Thank you for watching. This has been Dr. Jo Jingi. Stay healthy, stay hopeful, and I will see you in the next update. Goodbye.